All right, so we've got pretty much the whole ILF team here. We got all of our employees here. So what we're going to do, we're going to go around and just let each one go ahead and introduce themselves, tell a little bit about who they are and what they do for ILF. So if we want to get it kicked off, Chris, do you want to open up?
Sure. I'm Chris. I do stuff here sometimes. I showed up tonight. That's new, I guess.
Well, that's amazing, Chris. That's awesome.
We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
Killing it.
Thank you.
I'll be walking at some point during this session tonight.
How many steps a day are you getting in?
Let's see. Today I'm low. I'm only 12,625 as of now, so I need to bump it up a little.
Hey, man. Look, us at the info steps are going to beat you today. Come on.
My feet don't even touch the floor in this chair.
I will not beat you. So.
That's just because you're short, Sam.
Shut up.
I have the same problem,
can't touch
Sam.
the floor.
I can't. I really can't.
I even have things for me to rest my feet on, and I still am like, no, I can't.
See the chaos I caused, and all I did was say I'm Chris.
I know, it started devolving already. We're going downhill fast.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun one, though.
That's what we get.
Can't trust us with anything. Not
I'm
even
Chris,
walking.
and I like low-fat cottage cheese.
You actually like that crap?
I do. I love it.
Oh.
Full fat, low fat, red.
I eat it by the container full.
I am leaving.
If anyone would like some protein, you can buy Breakstone, low fat, 2%
put it-
Are you
small curd
sponsored?
cottage
Put it on the
cheese.
sandwich of
Are
suffering.
you
Hashtag
sponsored?
Man.
Sandwich of suffering.
Oh, if you put this on the SOS, I would be happy.
Not in combination with everything else.
I can't tell if I'm getting SE.
Okay. Well, before we get to the sandwich of suffering, Chris is the founder of ILF. He forgot to mention that.
I
Kind
did
of
that
important.
thing,
Yeah,
Founder,
he did that.
CEO, you know, it's...
Yeah, all of the fun things. Why don't we move on? Why don't we go ahead on to Shane? You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm the
Better.
COO of the Innocent Lives Foundation. And I get the joy of working with this team every day of my life. It's awesome.
All right, Samantha?
I am the Predator Identification Team Coordinator. I oversee all things casework, lead generation, and act as a communications liaison between agencies and Chris and so forth.
All right, awesome. And Erin?
I am the Director of Wellness, and I make sure the volunteers and employees are doing well and able to function in their roles.
And in what way are you here to help us do well?
Any way you need.
Are we all mentally well?
Yes. Yes, that's why you're here.
You all heard that. I am mentally well. You heard it.
Well,
Stop.
You heard it.
I don't meet with you, Chris, so.
Can I get that in writing?
Just saying. You heard it here first, folks.
We definitely heard it
Yeah.
here.
but we've all known it for a
was
while.
said.
Things were said, things happened here.
All right, awesome. Mandy, you opened it up, but do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do kind of day to day for ILF?
Sure. So as senior team leader, I run the development department and the education and outreach department. So random
Awesome.
He
things.
makes things pretty.
And I
Yeah,
make things
very nice.
pretty. I do my best.
Very pretty. Okay, awesome. And then we have probably the volunteer that volunteers the most time ever, Sai. Hello. I think, Sai, you're on all the streams. You look like an alien right now. Getting some Mike Wazowski vibes.
I'm an alien. I'm Levy. I'm not running this, so I don't have to do an intro. Bye.
All right, guys. Well, why don't we kick it off with one of our questions that we had come in from social media. We have one person wanting to know when we think we're going to be opening up for volunteers. It says current needs appear to be filled up. They don't mention what position they were applying for, but if someone could help us out telling us a little bit about that volunteer application process and how to start that, that would be helpful.
I elect Shane.
You elect me?
I
Always.
elect Shane to talk about this.
All right.
Nose
That'll
goes.
work.
Is that how we're doing this? Is nose goes whoever is the last?
Yeah.
to answer?
Wait, you can't
What is
see my
this?
nose.
I don't know what this is.
No, I mean, like Shelby said, I was like the CEO and founder. So I elect Shane. Shane answers every question.
You gave him too much
All
power.
right.
It's actually
That'll
the
work.
Shane AMA.
So we are currently reviewing existing people who have put in applications, and we're also looking for people right now who are putting in applications. I think we have 1 or 2 spots left that we're going to fill for the predator identification team. So if you want to be in the predator identification team, we are looking for people who do OSINT every day in their job, who don't have to be trained, who know exactly what they're after, and they're out there doing this on a daily basis. That is one of the key things that we're looking for. You also have to be able to do this type of ridiculously horrible work and be able to stay emotionally healthy. And that's part of what we have Aaron here for. However, if you apply, and you may be the perfect technical candidate, if Aaron tells you that she thinks we will damage you by you volunteering for us, we can't let you on board. We take it very, very seriously. I think we are also, Mandy, you may need to correct me on this, but if we could find someone who is, I just forgot it. What is it?
Java.
JavaScript, right?
JavaScript.
So we are looking for JavaScript. If you are a native JavaScript person and you are incredible at this, we would like to talk to you. That's what we're really after. We have a job for you. But the seats are limited to be able to fill. We have a long-term goal of wanting to double the size of the pit. We'd actually like to add another 30 of you with us. But we've got some fundraising that we have to accomplish before we can afford to do that. So did that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. And it leads really well into another one that we had. We have some people wondering, are there ways that they can help apart from just donating?
So, yes, go out and spread the word. Talk about the mission. Help us raise awareness. You don't have to, look, not all of us can donate tons of money. We got it and we get it. Not all of us are OSINT specialists, but all of us can go out and we can talk about the mission, we can raise awareness, and we can direct other people. And it sounds kind of, I don't know, it sounds kind of weak, but it's actually one of the most important things you can do for us.
All right, guys. So retweet, post this link everywhere, get the word out. All right, let's see. We got another one here. Is ILF on Facebook for the donate thing on people's birthdays? So is that able to be set up? Is that something that we have going?
Yes.
Somebody other than
I
me.
see
talk.
nodding.
It is. You should be able to find it on Facebook, or we should be connected to Facebook. So we do have a bunch of people who do Facebook fundraisers for us through Facebook. So it is possible.
Wait, they do Facebook fundraisers through Facebook?
Through Facebook, yeah.
Can you believe that?
Okay. No, I don't. I
It'd be
thought they would do
confusing if they
Facebook
did.
fundraisers through LinkedIn.
Yeah, I know. It's very
Well, I was
confusing.
thinking Instagram.
Yeah. Well, Instagram is connected, so that is a possibility.
Darn. And we get shut
They
down.
unified everything.
So we have anywhere from 2 to 8 people doing Facebook fundraisers for us at any given time, pretty much. So however that tends to work out. And of course, near the end of the year, a lot of people fire up even more fundraisers for us through Facebook, but absolutely, please do so.
Awesome. I just had someone tell me that we currently have 6 going. So yes, that is an option. And you can go ahead and pick ILF as your fundraiser option for your birthday or whatever you choose to do it for.
If you 6 are out there, thank you very, very much.
All right, guys. Well, what about ILF? Let's dial it back a little bit. So we know the mission of the ILF. Mandy helped us get introduced that at the very beginning. But what are the main ways that ILF accomplishes its mission? And maybe Samantha can help us with this one since she's the PIT coordinator.
Yeah, so we all act on each other. So we couldn't do it without the help of our dev team. Aaron, obviously, Shane handles all things business. But in the predator identification team, we actually look for people who are requesting or trading child sexual abuse material, showing intent to, having files, so forth. We do not do maybes. We actually look for people who are directly involved with predatory activity. And then we create full dossiers on those people to pass to law enforcement. So that was probably well, that's why I mean we act on each other. So I can do all of our casework and lead generation because of the funding and so forth. So it's, if I explained that correctly, I probably didn't.
Yeah, everything is linked. We all have to depend on each part of the team, right? It all
Yeah, so it's not
all works
really like
together.
one successful part.
Except for
but-
Chris. Chris doesn't really do much.
Eats cottage cheese
He's
occasionally.
He's just
On his
responsible
own
for us.
volition.
So if
That's
I ever have to
fair.
go to court, Chris actually has to go to court instead.
Chris
So.
is the pretty
Oh,
face,
okay.
I thought.
I don't do anything really.
He's just signed for responsibility.
I'm just a pretty face. That's it.
We have a question coming in from Elise. So she wants to know what types of information that the pit gathers is really useful to law enforcement.
Well, that's a good question. So, like I said, we don't really like to do maybes, and we don't want to get the incorrect people in trouble. So let's see, how's the best way to answer this? We go and gather basically anything possible on digital footprints that a predator may have, whether it is usernames, emails, so forth. We do not get involved with these predators, so we don't directly interact with them, but we do passively observe and collect all that information. And if there is somebody that we may not be able to do something about, but we really are more disgusted, I guess, than other leads, but we may not be able to do something, we put them in something called a gone but not forgotten. That way we don't feel like we're just leaving anyone behind. So valuable information to LE would be full parallel reconstructive files. Valuable information for ILF to create those files would be usernames, links, anywhere that you are aware that there was predatory activity. But we do not encourage, please don't go to actual predatory websites. But if you do know somebody that is being groomed or may need help in that way, or you do know somebody who was previously seen doing predatory activity, please report it through our report a case.
Okay, awesome. So regardless of whether there's something actionable in that immediately, ILF does have a place where, like Samantha said, it not forgotten, right? What do you say, gone but not forgotten, or
Yep, gone but not
was it?
forgotten.
Yeah, gone but not forgotten. So you store it, and then you can kind of look back and keep an eye on it, right? So
Exactly. Yep.
Okay,
So that way we
awesome.
can actually track information and see if there's a new digital footprint for us to look into.
very cool. I like that. It's nice knowing that someone's keeping an eye on cases like that, right? Because it can be frustrating when you see something happening, but there's not necessarily something useful for law enforcement at the time.
Exactly.
So,
And
yeah,
it's,
that's great.
it's definitely a wall that we can hit.
Yep. Okay, so if you do know of a case that is happening, as Samantha said, please do report it through the website. It will absolutely be paid attention, and someone will take a look at that for you.
Can I jump in real fast?
Yeah, absolutely.
So please go ahead and do that reporting through the website. We have a lot of people that reach out to us via social media, and our social media people who respond to social media are trained for social media. They're not trained to handle the ugly type of content that comes in for this type of thing. And so that's why we have, if you go to the website and you go to the report a case, that way that information will go straight to the people who are trained to handle this. They're trained to onboard a case and to see if it's something that we can actually take in as a case or help direct you to the right people. So please do our social media responders a huge favor and report through the form. It would be much appreciated.
That being said, if you do know somebody who's actually being physically abused or you are being physically abused, please go to the cyber tip line to directly report that. That actually goes out to law enforcement. They obviously can act a bit more quicker with boots on the ground.
Okay, awesome. Well, we touched on this briefly, with this subject being one that is clearly difficult for everyone, right? That's why ILF was created. It's very important to make sure that those who are doing the research or those that are exposed to these topics are taken care of mentally, right? So ILF has something called a wellness program. Erin, is that something you're able to explain a little bit more and give us some more detail about?
Absolutely. So I meet with volunteers from the get-go when they begin with us, or as I came on board, I met with the volunteers that were currently already with us. And I check in at least once a month to make sure that they are balancing things well. While we love that they volunteer, we need to also make sure that they're well in every facet of their lives. That means that they're juggling their job, their family life, their other responsibilities, and that they are all handling it and still functioning well. So it's my goal to make sure that we're not harming anybody. They don't need to take a break. They are able to continue to do the casework without any damage to themselves. If we sense that, the one beautiful thing that Chris and Shane have recognized is from day one of starting ILF, it was something Chris knew needed to be a component of the wellness program, that there are times in people's lives when they're not okay. And because they understand the gravity of mental health, they allow people to do a pause if needed. And there's so many circumstances like moving, having children, just anything, any life circumstance that pops up where the volunteer might need to take a little break and then come back. And so we really want people that are in a very high functioning, good mind space to be doing this type of work. So if they're not, that's a beautiful thing. They have me to process it with. And then usually I have them go directly to Shane or Chris because they're both very approachable and they're able to get out that they need to take that pause. So the goal is to just keep it flowing and keep everybody, like I said, in a good place.
All right, awesome. Yeah, that's really important. If the researchers or the people on the team are in that right mindset, then it can just cause more harm than good, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. You need to balance things, and if you can't balance it, and it's easy to fall down a rabbit hole in this type of work. It's so easy to pour hours upon hours, especially if you're new to it. So it's just very important to make sure that they're also, working on the relationships right in their house, and that it's okay with their partner that they're spending 2, 3, 4 hours a night. So you just want to make sure that that there's a good, healthy balance involved.
And
yeah, absolutely.
That's actually a great point you bring up, Erin, is we will often talk to people who volunteer and we will ask them to please be sure they have their significant other's blessings for doing this work.
Yeah, so important.
Because they really need to be on board, understand what's happening, and understand the types of things that their significant other can be exposed to. So if you're in that situation, we always ask people to do that.
Yep.
Awesome. And there's nothing wrong with not being able to volunteer in that aspect right now.
No.
Some other ways that you can support are donating, as mentioned, or just getting the word out there across social media and just getting the conversation going and started around ILF. We have a really good question here in chat. What were some of the biggest challenges to the mission that ILF identified during the pandemic?
Good one.
Well, the obvious, fundraising.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were not a COVID group or in one of the hot button social issues that were taking place during that period of time, it was, everything dried up. However, there are much larger issues, and the larger issues is the increase of kids spending time on social media and on gaming systems and on their computer without, the parents are trying to work from home, they're juggling everything. It just literally opened up this huge hunting ground for predators.
Totally.
And we haven't seen a tremendous amount of statistics come back yet, but we're pretty dang scared of what we're going to be hearing soon. So
I know in some of the districts too, even up by me, that struggle financially, they were offering free internet services for homes and handing out tablets and Chromebooks to students. So people who just didn't even have access before, there's just now so much more access. And I know it's still continuing at this point. So like you said, the reach just really expanded there.
Yeah, and to your point, right, when they're handing kids and parents the stuff they didn't have access to before. I mean, you would never turn around and hand your kid keys to a car and say, "Good luck, son.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck, daughter.
I'm off to work.
Knock yourselves out. I'm out of here. I hope you do well." It's just like anything else. Kids and the parents need training, and it's just not happening right now.
So does anyone have any advice where to look to for that training, or maybe materials or resources regarding general online safety, or any resources for the parents to help their children learn?
Absolutely. In fact, one of our volunteers just recently wrote a blog about it. It's Mandy. It's right on our page, right under resources.
It should be under blog.
Under blog.
Yeah. It's also on the front page still, if you scroll
Oh,
down.
good. It's
Yeah,
a really phenomenal article that has very specific tools to, I mean, every single type of use a tablet of child might have. So from Androids to Apple equipment to, Mac. It's just really, it's really condensed in there. It's nice.
It analyzes the built-in capabilities for each like operating system or device, and then goes into like third-party apps and stuff that you can get. And just kind of the pros and cons to each one, a comparison chart to compare them up against each other price-wise and just feature-wise and stuff. So,
and we did have another volunteer write another safety blog as well that might be a little bit lower in the blogs, but just basic security, having to talk with your child, things of that nature too.
Okay, awesome. So we have something that breaks it down for maybe those of us who aren't so technical who
Exactly,
kind of get into that.
if you don't want
And
it,
then,
the more current is more technical, and then the one that's a little bit further back would be more about the talking with the children.
okay, awesome. Well, those are really great resources where we can start at. If anyone has more specific questions, feel free to pop it in chat, and we'll go through those as well.
I've got a couple more real fast.
Yeah, please.
If you look on our website, InnocentLivesFoundation.org, and look up Trust or Robin Dreek, you can do that search, and you will find his information there. If you go to our YouTube, you will see a 15-minute video that is knowledge for parents. That video will literally tell you what to anticipate as a parent, how you should be reacting if the worst thing does happen, what you could anticipate from making a report. These are all fundamental things that a lot of people are simply too afraid to ask or don't know where to go. And in 15 minutes, you will get some really great basic answers, and you'll have a fantastic place to start. So that's the Innocent Lives Foundation YouTube channel, and look for the video Knowledge for Parents.
Okay, beautiful. And we've got a couple links to some of those guides that we've been talking about in the chat. If you guys want to go ahead and look through those. Awesome. Now we have one more. Now we have some exciting topics coming up later. We're going to have you guys give us the inside scoop on ILFest. Before we get there, we have a parent who's wanting to understand what grooming is and how to identify it. So with children getting this access to, these tablets and all these devices they may not have had access to before, what are some things that parents should be on the lookout for and helping their children understand regarding grooming?
Hey, Chris, I think we're probably going to throw that one at you. You're the most qualified person to answer that.
Okay. Grooming. So grooming is where an adult is basically setting a child up to accept the relationship online. Generally, it starts off where they're understanding some of the problems a child may have, or liking the same movies, liking the same music, having parents that suck like every teenager does, or young person, and then moving that into a much more intimate relationship where pictures and maybe sexting and other things are taking place between the adult and the child. How do you know what's happening? Well, this is a hard one. So I'm going to tell you a bunch of things to watch for, but here's the caveat as a parent. None of these things alone indicate that your child is being groomed. Okay, so just because you see this doesn't mean that you need to run into your kid's room right now and kick their device against the wall and smash their computer, because it doesn't mean automatically, it's not 1 + 1 = 2, right? So we have to understand that these things what they should do is they should raise a red flag for you as a parent, and that should indicate that you need to start looking into it a little bit more. Okay, so first, and this is probably every teenager on the planet, I know mine does this, but they love to spend a lot of time alone, away from in real life friends or their family. Now, I know mine does spend a lot of time in her room, alone. So again, that's not just an indicator, but if you notice a change in that, where maybe before they had a lot of in real life friends and all of a sudden they're just spending an inordinate amount of time online, it's a good indicator as a parent to find out who they're chatting with online. Second is there's more secrecy around their device or devices, where if you happen to walk by and look over their shoulder, they kind of freak out a little bit, hide their device from you so you can't see it. Those should also be indicators that something may be happening that you want to check into. Probably a big one that really should be a giant red flag is your child receives gifts. And when you say, hey, where did you get that phone or that laptop or that jewelry? They'll say things like, oh, a friend gave it to me. Especially electronic gifts. What we have seen way too often is that groomers will try to get the child their own phone or electronic device because you may be monitoring the device that you gave to your child. So if they send a phone to your child, then it's not being monitored, so they can do whatever they want with it there. And combining like at least those three together, you have a good indicator that you need to really sit down and have a conversation with your child and maybe start looking at their devices and things that they're doing online. Being aware of where they go, who their friends are online, and how they communicate with them is good as a parent. Now, I can tell you, man, I do this every day for a living, and my daughter still teaches me stuff about how to use Instagram. There's still things on there that I can't figure out, and yeah, that's my age for sure. But I think it's important to at least ask the questions and have them teach you. Have them be your teacher at how to use the apps, and you'll learn how much they know about those applications. Also, just being aware, because sometimes you'll hear news reports. So this happens to me often. We'll go on, big grooming cases with what's that one, Sam? Roblox, right? And then the movie site. What's the big movie site that the one with all the kids go and watch movies together?
Netflix?
No.
Oh, the streaming one.
Yeah, no, it
was Rabbit.
Yeah, it was Rabbit. Rabbit's gone.
Yeah.
Well, anyhow, if we think of it, we'll tell you. But you hear a story on the news about like some kid getting groomed on Roblox, and then every parent's like, "Oh my gosh, it's an evil app. This is terrible. We shouldn't let our kids on it." Well, I can tell you this hands down. Every app where or game where there is chatting, there are predators. It is not a nature of the app itself or the application being bad. It is the fact that predators go where children are. Now, that is the general rule. I will say there are some apps which are pretty horrific, like Kick, which was designed for teens but has more pornography and sexting content on there than any other app that was designed for teens, and things like that. But most apps that were made, or like Roblox or movie watching apps, were made for a specific purpose, and predators just happen to go there. So hopefully that answers your question about grooming. I don't know where that question came from, but if not, you can pop in the chat. And
Yeah, I think it gave a little bit more context, some signs to look out for. And something that you mentioned that I think is important to key in on is just keeping an open dialogue with your children, keeping that conversation going, asking them how to show you things about the apps that they're using, just keeping that conversation going so that if something ever does change, then you're able to key in on that a little bit better, maybe.
Yeah, and I want to answer to a comment that Elise said in the chat in the stream, is one thing you'll see often, and Elise, I'm sorry you had to deal with that, but yeah, most of the time groomers will try their hardest to get you to distrust your parents or any adult that you should be trusting. We've actually worked multiple cases where the groomer actually helped the child write a letter to their parents, like kind of disassociating themselves from them. They actually got help from the groomer to write the letter to their parents. That's how far they'll go, because if they can make it so all of their advice, all of their information, all of their knowledge is coming from the groomer, then they don't need the parents or other trusted adults that can save them from these things. So Yeah, Elise, sadly, that is a common tactic that we see way too often.
Hey, just a couple things to insert here. First of all, admin team on the back end, I'm trying desperately to post a link, and ILF bot won't let me. Dang it. I want to post about the
Can you send it to us?
Darknet Diaries, episode 93.
Stop by
about
your
Kick.
own bot.
Stop by our own bot. I know. Isn't that amazing?
It's working.
It's doing its job. I'm going to try again.
They posted it for you,
Yeah,
so
won't let
someone
me
else
do
did
it.
it, but it's
All
it's
right, Nick,
we're
thank
good
you, man. Awesome.
I love that. It says, please refrain from posting links.
Yeah.
Anyhow, Marcus, I want to answer to your one comment too about Custodio. So there are a lot of decent apps out there, and I'm gonna say one thing that's gonna sound like a negative, but it's not. You really have to decide on how you use them based on age appropriateness of your child, right? I used Custodio for years, and it worked awesome when my daughter was young. Then when she became a teenager, the app was more restrictive than it was helpful. Like for example, the way Custodio works is it creates a VPN account on the child's device, and all traffic, cellular data, everything gets filtered through that VPN. While it's in their custody, they analyze it for anything that you mark as inappropriate, and then it pings you and says, hey, we found that they're posting this picture or this on their website. And then you can go in and block things and stop things. It gives you complete control over the device. So that is great. Like I said, when my daughter was 7, 8, 9, those things were all awesome. As she became a teenager, what happened is, and we gave her freedom to use Netflix on her device, Netflix hates Custodio. It won't allow it to work because it's a VPN. So it started to block legitimate content, and there was no way for us to do that. When she started to travel out of the house without us, then we noticed that all of a sudden there were like 30 gigs of data being used a month. And we're like, oh, what the heck is up with that? And it was always Custodio. So I'm saying this not as a negative. What I'm saying is that when you choose monitoring devices or monitoring applications, just know that the solution you find now for your 8, 9, 10-year-old may not be the solution that is appropriate when they're 15, 16, 17, right? You may need different solutions dependent on the age and what you're trying to monitor. Right now, at this point, my daughter's 17. She's going to be going to school soon and all of that. We're mainly having conversations with her, and we're monitoring geolocation and things like that, and not logged into her devices. At some point you have to teach them to be responsible adults. You may choose to do it different, and depends on your child, right? So I just want to say that because I get asked that question all the time about applications that are useful for monitoring. So we've done extensive reviews on a lot of those.
Yeah, we're actually reviewing a physical device right now from Circle. They are helping. They are a vendor for ILFest, and they sent us a device, and so we are working on reviewing that. And to be spent 7337, what solution do we have Sam on?
Yeah,
she is on heavy logging and monitoring.
Yeah, and she's also on the Disney Plus one, the Disney one, the one that we put the little kids on. And it's only because of her physical size, because she's actually really, really small.
There is a direct correlation, right, between size and age.
It is, yeah. And which app you use, dependent on size. Yeah.
How old is Mandy?
That's it. I'm
Don't laugh them. Don't encourage them.
So,
I'm downloading Kick.
Getting laughs in the chat.
You're downloading Kick. You can't download Kick. We'll stop you with our app. And if that's the case, if it's based on size, then we have to put Shelby on the same one because.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
She's also super tiny. Right. We shoved her through a garbage chute at one point. So,
Well, you tried to make me go through the ceiling, but it was cemented off. Good times. Good times. All right.
Maybe
well.
not in front of your dad. Not in front of your dad.
Oh, are you kidding? He'd be throwing me through himself.
Someone asked how old Mandy is. I don't know. She's like 19, 20. I don't know. What does she look like?
You said it's correlated to size. I mean, also tiny.
And we do have a request out there about our statement for $10,000 to build a case, and where does that come from? And that's a phenomenal question. We actually have several types of cases, but the key case that really is the one that is the time burner and the one that burns up the most is the primary type of case that we end up working. So that number is pulled from a literal cost that it takes to run the Innocent Lives Foundation based against the cases that we have, and it is a generality, and that's really important for everyone to understand. Every case is completely different. Some cases you can wrap up in an hour. Other cases you're going to burn up 120 hours or more. So there's no real great way to do that. So it's a generality. It is a reasonable figure if you look at the back end of our numbers, and that's why we produce it. I hope that helped answer that question.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, now for the exciting part. We've heard it mentioned a few times. We have a really awesome event coming up. We've got ILFest 2021. Who wants to tell us a little bit about that, what to expect? I know we have some very exciting guests coming up this year.
Neil Fallon. Oh, sorry. Neil Fallon.
Who's that?
Where's your foam finger?
Neil Fallon.
Is that exciting guest, Chris?
Neil Fallon. Dude, I will literally fire you from the planet. Neil Fallon. That's all you have to worry about is Neil Fallon.
Okay,
Oh, don't even start with me, Billy. I know you know who he is. You came to my class. Don't even start with me. I will drive to Vegas right now, and I will kick you in the throat. DerbyCon, Jesus. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. That was a good story. I'm sure Neil does not want us to tell it, but anyhow.
I don't even think I've heard that story.
Tell that story.
Yeah, DerbyCon, Jesus. That is Neil Fallon.
I do remember that one.
Yeah, that was a great story.
All right, so we know that Neil is going to ILFest.
Neil
Oh, and
is-
also Neil Fallon. I forgot to mention.
Wait, I'm confused. Is Neil going
Can't
to
take
be
you anywhere.
at ILF?
Yes, let me just check the calendar. Yes,
Okay.
Neil will also be at ILFest. I
What-
didn't know if I mentioned it.
What day is that, Chris?
Is he a friend of
July
Science?
10th.
And who's
July
gonna be
10th of 2021. And let me just check who's going to be there. Neil Fallon will be joining us
Neil?
for ILF
You're a
Fest.
friend of Science.
Yeah, and he is a friend of science.
Okay, it's very important.
Yeah, AJ will be there too, but Neil Fallon will also be joining us on July 10th. I'm just kidding. Yes, and AJ Cook. And this dude named Shane McCombs.
Hey, AJ, if you're listening, we love you too. Don't
We
listen
love
to Chris.
AJ. She knows. She knows.
It's obviously
She knows
not.
I love her. I'm just teasing because it's Neil. Sam will be joining us. Aaron
Robin
will be
Dreek.
joining us. Mandy will be joining us. Robin Dreek will be joining us. I think our lawyer will be joining us. Boo.
We're not letting Tim on.
Hi, Tim.
No way. Tim, if you're out there,
Sai
sorry,
will be
bro.
joining us. Shelby will be joining us. A guy named Neil Fallon will be joining us.
Why are you like this?
Yes, Alif,
why-
Robin is going to tell spy stories. That's what we're asking him to do. That's going to
Robin's
be
got some cool
awesome.
ones too.
Nice.
Robin has some cool ones.
Tim will be there handing out NDAs.
Ask me
Virtual
about my
NDA.
NDA.
He'll just have a whole waiver on the screen as ILFest comes on.
The waiver just says Neil Fallon's here. That's fine.
I'm confused. Is
Sensing a
Neil
theme.
going to be there?
Yeah, I know it's
Hey,
hard
hey,
to follow,
guys.
but
I
Neil will
actually
be
don't
there.
know who Neil is.
We're getting donations, by the way. So everybody say
From
thank you.
this.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Oh,
guys.
Thank you, thank
you.
Thanks for
Every
donating
time I
to
mention Neil
Fallon.
Fallon, we get more donations. You see how that works?
Secret-
That
We're
what
gonna
you
get
think?
donations
No.
taken away pretty soon.
Chris, I don't know if you saw this, but their most recent donation said, "Hey Chris, your dark horse Rachel says hello. She's currently tied up in a phys-sec engagement with me. Smiley face. Let's get to that 500 goal." So
We're at
I like it. Let's hit it.
72. Let's go.
Hey, Black Stag Tech, already purchased my early bird package. So excited. Thank you
Nice.
very, very much.
yeah,
Hey guys, do you know we only have 15 of those out of the 100 left for sale?
that's
Yo.
great.
Really?
Those things have- yeah, they are doing amazing.
Wow, that's pretty awesome, man.
Hey Shane, that T-shirt looks a little familiar.
Yeah, and the badge.
Is that
Hey,
something
yeah.
that you might be able to get in
Show
that
me your badge.
This
early
is
bird
part. This
thing?
is part of it. Yes, it is.
I'm,
The only place
uh,
you can get it.
It's like going to a conference without physically going to a conference.
Look at
I
this.
accidentally
Metal
bought
straw.
Oh,
Look
straw.
at that straw.
Are we giving out
So-
straws?
Environmentally friendly, Chris.
Metal straws.
Environment is a part of wellness.
Can you sharpen the straw and then
It'll
shank
go
someone
great
with
with
it?
the
It's metal,
sticker.
Chris, so you can shank people with it. I will
You can turn it into a shank, Chris, if you
You
really want
live in
to.
Florida. You should be aware that the straws hurt the sea turtles and all the other sea creatures.
I
I
am.
will
I
show
don't
you
use
how to
straws.
turn it into a
But-
shank. Don't worry.
Chris, can you say what state you live in, though? always
I
forget.
do. I can. I live in the state below Georgia,
Oh,
What's that called, Chris?
I'm bad at
I
math.
suck at geography.
um,
What is it?
Orlando.
Yeah, I'm bad at geometry.
Sorry, that's
I live in Orlando.
Geometry. I can't do geometry.
I'm bad at geometry. I don't know where that is.
Spam, thank you for the donation, Spam.
I can't read.
Spam. Is Spam here? Spam?
That's what it
Yeah.
says. Spam,
Spam
just-
is not your
Oh.
friend.
Chris, you're getting made fun of for the way that you say Florida.
Florida.
I support
I'm not
that.
following. I'm
It's
sorry.
flawed.
I have mentioned that Neil Fallon will be at ILFest.
No,
I
you
just
didn't
wanted to make
mention
sure. Okay.
I think
First time we're hearing it.
he might be there. Might
Yeah.
be up in the air.
Okay, so what is ILF Fest, guys? What's happening this year? What are we doing?
Okay. ILFest is the place that Neil Fallon is coming on July 10th.
Okay, someone mute Chris.
Anybody doesn't know.
I'm gonna let Chris talk in the background, and I'm going to attempt in a very
So,
sad way to
I-
bring
Save
up
us,
the
man.
I
website
was
that
just
we've
gonna
got.
describe what ILFest is, but I
We
guess.
just like to have fun when
Okay.
with all this awful,
So-
horrible work, you know?
Okay. So you know, we
I think-
needed.
I think Tim just weighed in. I've made a motion to the board banning Chris from ILFest and limiting Neil to telling creepy Chris stalking stories.
I support.
Yes.
Okay, Tim,
I
Neil
would've
doesn't
you get
have any
Tim,
creepy
we love
stories.
you.
the spot.
This is a creepy Chris story at this point, with how many times you've said his
We
name.
have a few.
This is not. I don't have creepy Chris stories. Anyhow,
at least-
ILFest
yeah.
started when we were looking to do a fundraiser and we were going to do something live and we couldn't because, you know, world pandemics, global diseases, you know, stuff like that kind of stopped us. So Shane and the crew decided, hey, let's put on a online, like 1-day conference.
No, it
And-
was a 2-hour conversation.
2
dude.
hour, right. We
2-hour
were going to have
conversation.
like a couple people on, and then it was like call for help went out. It wasn't even call for papers. It was like call for help. Who
That's
wants
what
to
I
help us come do a thing for a couple hours and talk and
Let's help.
do stuff? And that turned into a
Send
day-long thing with me being forced to make and eat pineapple pizza, which was horrific. Dave Kennedy coming on, AJ Cook coming on. Oh, Neil
Raised like
Fallon was on.
$30,000
Neil
from you suffering.
Fallon was on, just saying.
Was Neil there?
Neil was there, and he wrote a song about pineapple pizza.
It's a great
And how
song.
much
Okay.
he loves it.
I mean, it was amazing, and you can see that on YouTube.
It is on YouTube.
And anyhow, first of all, Marcus, last time I checked, you didn't take my class, and you probably would have failed the micro-expression test. So, no, if you knew anything about it, I did not. What I loved was all the laughter, okay? And because of mirror neurons, they make you laugh when your other people laugh and smile. And that is why I had a smile on my face, not because I like pineapple pizza. Anyhow,
You got 95%, Chris.
95%, whatever. Anyone can cheat that test.
I got
Anyhow,
100%.
here's the point.
Boo! You
Okay.
suck, Marcus.
Sir,
I know,
Spam Slot,
Marcus.
I agree with you. More octane, high octane whiskey. Yes, I agree. Go
So
ahead.
yeah, we had good whiskey there. We had people coming in and asking questions. We had different, like every hour we had AJ Cook, we had Michelle Ward, we had so many people just come on and hang out, talk about their field, get questions from people, and we were there for how many hours?
Oh,
Shane,
gosh.
it was like 12, 10,
Yeah,
8?
but my day started like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
and so did
boo-hoo.
a few
Okay, what
others.
was the real time?
At least.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
what a day!
I don't want to hear it.
It was
What-
like it was about a 10-hour day.
yeah, okay,
officially.
10 hour.
Yeah.
And in 10 hours, we raised, Shane,
$33,000.
can you even believe that? Now, let me tell you how that came about. Because if you want to know
For your
ILF,
suffering, because we
Is
love to see you suffer.
somebody
We love to
asked
see you
me,
suffer.
somebody,
Wonder
we're going to
who
say
that.
Shane,
We just want to kick you
Who
down a
would, who would
notch.
do this?
Shane said to me, how much would we have to raise for you to eat a pineapple pizza? Now, when we had this idea, it was like a 1-day thing or a couple hour thing. That's all I thought it was going to be. And it was going to be on the 25th. So as a joke, I said, hey, if we raise $25K, I'll not only eat a pineapple pizza, I'll make it. I will actually make it myself, cook it, make the dough, and eat my own sorrow in front of the camera.
Eat my own.
Very proud.
Speaking
Okay.
of suffering.
It was
There's a quote.
suffering.
Eat my own sorrow.
Speaking
my own
of
sorrow.
suffering.
Okay,
What's
so
this year's
the
suffering?
conversation really went like, so Shane, I don't think we can raise any money with this. I don't know why we're doing this. I don't understand it. And I'm like, you don't need to understand it. I said, why don't let's just shoot for $5,000. And he goes, I don't get it. And I said, you know what? We're going to set it for $10,000. That's our goal, $10,000. We'll set a stretch goal. And then I said, just what Chris then said. How much would it take to get you, Chris Hadnaggy, to eat a pineapple pizza?
His
It's like
Me and my
25K.
big mouth, I'm like,
No faith, bro.
I'm
no
like,
faith.
if we raise 25K, I'll not only eat it, I'll make it. Okay,
So-
well, we rose 25K. We rose 33K, but at 25K, I had to make my own dang pizza. I had to suffer through eating a slice. I wouldn't eat any more. And then my good friend Marcus, who, by the way, we'll just call him AKA the jerk. He located my home address and he sent
Delicious and child saving.
six people, 6 Domino's Hawaiian pizzas.
Just
my
wanted
house.
to make sure you're covered.
Now, we need to understand this,
It was a
okay?
long
For any of
day.
you
We needed
who
Extra
actually
pineapple.
value pizza, Domino's pizza is like cardboard with
I
some
know.
crappy sauce on it and fake cheese. It is not
Listen,
quality.
It was
It
a
is
long
not
day.
quality.
We had to make sure you had eaten.
Chris,
Okay.
Let me-
I told
let
you
me
to stop
tell
eating
you-
cardboard.
No, let me tell you how bad it is. Let me tell you how bad this Domino's pizza is. My children took pizzas out to homeless people in Orlando to try to give them away. And even homeless people rejected Domino's Hawaiian pizza.
There was like no one out. I talked to Amaya.
They tried. There was people who were like, I ain't touching that. Like, what kind of pizza you got? Hawaiian. They're like, nah,
COVID
sorry.
pizza, duh.
Yeah, in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's
Just
the
saying.
pizza.
I'm
Okay,
just
okay, so
saying.
what's this year's suffering?
So wait a
Anyhow,
second.
no, they're asking about ILFest. We're going through it.
We got
This
a
is
legit
ILF
question
Fest.
here. Chris, how can you hate pineapple pizza if it's saving the kids? That's a great question.
I love saving
Excellent
kids.
point.
Okay, but pineapple
For the
pizza
children.
was invented by a Greek guy in Canada. Okay, by a Greek guy in Canada, not an Italian. Not an Italian. No. You go to Italy and you say put pineapple on pizza. Some grandma's coming out. She's spitting in your
Uni,
face.
thank you
and
for
she's
the donation.
slapping you. Yeah. And then Marcus said, if I eat one slice of the Domino's pizza, he'll donate $500. But you want to know, Mr. Whoever asked that ridiculous question, how much I love children? I ate a slice of the cardboard disgust for $500 for the kids.
I did
Okay,
go back
so
over
take
that
that.
footage recently, and he was definitely crying during that one. He didn't cry
There
as
we
much
go.
during the one
Great.
that he made. There was the micro expression of pure joy, I believe.
No, okay,
No, yeah.
listen.
I'm an expert, so
Mandy, okay, first of all, the crust was superior because I made it. The
Yeah.
sauce was homemade.
yeah,
The cheese was real mozzarella.
yeah. See,
I grated pecorino rum on it. It was a perfect pizza, except it was ruined by pineapple.
Okay, but you also took like half of the pineapple and put it on there in huge, massive chunks, which is incorrect. So
Yeah, you
Well, okay,
psycho.
was
I'm sorry.
that?
There is no. There's no correct way to put pineapple on a pizza. You know the only
There's a
correct way to
less
put
wrong
pineapple on a
way.
pizza is to throw it in the trash.
to put
That's
it in
the
my
only way.
stomach,
There's
I
a
will
less
eat all of
wrong
it.
way.
Eat it.
I love
Okay.
it. Tim's
Good
like,
Lord.
Tim is like, there goes our donation from Domino's.
Well, I guess we're never going to get
So-
Domino's then.
What I'm hearing is we managed to torture you pretty well last year.
We're a neutral
So
group.
how are we torturing him this year?
Look at Shelby
What's
segue,
happening?
man.
I tried.
Same time.
I
like,
know
I
you
tried
did.
like
I know
3
you did.
different
Hey,
times.
Hey, Elise, the
I
pizza
hate
recipe
you
is
all.
good, isn't it? Isn't it, Elise? Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
who wants to tell us about Sandwich of Suffering? We haven't
Listen,
said a whole lot
Billy-
about this yet.
Don't do pineapple pizza for Last Supper because it will ruin your life, and it may be the last one. Because don't eat something enjoyable.
I feel like there's some.
What's the
Logic
suffering
flaws
this
there.
year?
Few of them.
I can go over it.
Few.
Mandy,
All right, yeah,
please
take it
do
away.
so.
All All right, so this year we're going to have the sandwich of suffering, which will be a beautiful build your own sandwich, but for Chris, because we adore him and no other reason. Definitely not to torture him.
Chris, what flavor crickets do you want?
Yeah, so at each different donation tier as a whole, once we hit different marks across the way, we'll be applying a new level to the sandwich. It kind of
You understand that the acronym is SOS. You see that, Mandy? SOS.
I think we're all aware of that, yeah.
I just work here. So
Not for long.
I do know that, because when we were trying to find a hashtag for it, I was like, we can't just use SOS because there's people using that one on Twitter already for good reasons. But also this is probably a good reason as well. But yeah, so to start out, it's going to be like you get your bread layer, then you get meat and cheese, and then it just kind of gets more fun from there, in my opinion, because...
Oh, are you eating it? Is that why it's fun?
No, I'm busy that day.
Oh, you're busy that day. Oh.
I've got a thing. So I
yeah,
can't
guess
eat
what?
it,
Guess who doesn't have a thing?
but,
Neil Fallon.
So he's
They'll
not
be
coming?
there.
He does not.
But you just said
Wait.
he has a thing, so he's not coming?
Do you want to share your sandwich with Neil? I'm sure he'll love that.
No, I'm not sharing. No, I will eat it to save Neil from the
Oh, wait,
suffering.
but Chris,
That's so
you
nice.
realize if you shared it, that means you would share space with Neil, right?
He already said what he said.
All
We're
right.
not going to put Neil through that. We love him.
I'm not going to put. I will not allow Neil to go through that.
Yeah. But we will allow
Lady
Chris to go
and
through
Tramp
it.
style, the
Oh,
sandwich.
I did not need that image in my mind.
I did.
Oh,
Tramp style.
that is great.
Maybe
Yeah.
we need
I
to
think
add
Neil
a...
will say no to that. I'm just going to say, because the stuff you guys have me putting on it is like scorpions and mealworms
Yeah,
and
what flavor cricket do you
You're a
want?
lizard.
I have to go pick 'em up.
liverwurst, which is like, ooh, liverwurst is probably the worst thing out of that list right there.
One of the sandwich or one of the bread layer options is pineapple pizza.
No, that's
it
too
will-
far.
The
it will
bread
hold it
layer.
together. It will hold
No,
it together.
that's too far.
There's
That's
a
too far.
candy layer. So like Pop Rocks, for instance. I don't know.
Oh no, you can't put Pop Rocks with liverwurst.
We can put whatever
The
we
rules
want.
Okay,
were it had to be
so-
edible.
Who says
Oh.
you can't
Actual
do
food.
that?
I feel like that combination's gonna happen now.
Chris, are you a friend of science or not?
The more you complain, the more I will hype.
This is literally
I mean, I
for
love
science.
Pop Rocks and liverwurst. I love them.
There you go.
That's the spirit.
I want them.
That's
So
All
here's
right,
here's the fun part. As we reach a donation level, say $5,000, you guys are going to get to choose one of 3 items for Chris to put on his pizza so he can build it.
No,
And
no,
then when we
sandwich,
hit the next
sandwich,
one,
not pizza.
I'm
Sandwich.
sorry, sandwich. And then on top of that, as we hit the next donation level, you'll get to choose which of the 3 disgusting things Chris
yeah.
gets to build his sandwich with. And if we hit our goal of 50K, Chris is going to have to take a minimum of 2 bites out of this disgusting piece of crap sandwich that you guys built. And he said he's happy to do it for the kids.
He was
Listen,
thrilled last week.
who's Rev 3 dude? Who's Rev 3 dude?
No one?
Depends.
Not
It
telling
depends. Do you love him or do
I
you
was
not
gonna
love
say,
him right now?
We're gonna protect them.
No, he is he or she is defending me because
Oh.
I need your
look at
help.
that.
Disowned. Disowned.
I need
I would
help,
take a
Rev 3.
sandwich for you, man. I love you. What a nice guy.
I need your help.
That was
I
a
need your
quote.
help, Rev.
I think they were
No,
saying that
yeah.
you would say that regarding Neil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
I'm gonna take it the way I want to take
it.
it. But okay, Rev, I'm gonna answer your previous question that no one got to,
Yeah.
which is what? Rev 3 dude has been blocked. Oh, who is Rev 3?
That is Nick.
Yeah.
Nick who?
Or
Why you gotta dox people?
Our Nick.
I'm curious just because he asked if I was doing some kind of health challenge, and this sandwich is going to ruin everything I've done to get healthy. I just want you guys to know that.
I think you just like doxing people.
We believe in you.
Online.
Stop doxing.
No, he asked. Scroll up. He asked the question.
Yeah,
it was
but you
quite
like
a
to
while
dox
ago.
your team and you-
Nick is our moderator. We're protecting.
Yeah, we're
No, I like
protecting
Nick.
you.
We do too. We love him. That's why.
That's
See?
why we're not
You
telling
see?
you anything.
Nick's backing me up. He did ask. You see?
Okay. All right.
Thank
All
you
right,
so much
guys,
for being
so-
honest.
Oh allowed?
Sandwich of Suffering. How can we vote? What are we doing to?
You can't. It's closed. It's closed.
Chris?
There's no more donations.
Be quiet.
July
Chris,
10th is
stop.
actually done. Sorry, it's
Mute
over.
him.
Oh, you won't get to see Neil though.
During ILF Fest,
Ah,
to answer
crap.
your questions,
That's a conundrum.
you are going to get to choose, and then you get to watch Chris do it live as he puts this disgusting stuff on his sandwich. So we will have all the ingredients there. We'll have everything sitting there, and you guys are going to get to choose live during ILF Fest. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did.
All right, awesome.
All right, guys, awesome. Well, please don't forget to follow and subscribe, get the word out, repost on social media, whatever you have to do, especially so we can see Chris eat this lovely sandwich.
Very excited.
I don't understand it.
And-
Neil Fallon will be there. Why does anyone care about me suffering?
Because
How
it's
we get
really, it's
money
kind of
for it?
funny.
And we
Okay,
bottle
okay.
and sell Chris.
I'm sure he likes it too.
Let's put this on a scale. AJ Cook and Neil Fallon. Chris suffering. Oh, I think
Wait.
like they win.
Hey, Chris, you know how I've donated a lot of money? It's to see you.
Yes. I understand that. That's-
You know how I work here?
Here are the answers to your question.
You make us suffer. We want to make you suffer.
great. I feel so valued somehow. Not
You
really.
do this out of love. You
It is
fire us
coming
all the
from love.
time. We are allowed to torment you back.
I don't fire everyone all the time. Sam doesn't
All right,
get fired.
everyone but Sam. All of the time.
And Aaron.
She got fired. She got fired a couple
fired once.
Fireside
She
Chats
got
ago.
fired once. It
No,
was only
it happened.
once.
False. I just
Hey-
went
hey,
through
guys.
ILFest footage and got a clip of you telling Samantha that she is indeed fired.
You also
It was-
said I'm great at my job.
But it was one time that
You fired
happened
me
in all
during
the
this
years she's
podcast.
been here. I mean,
All the
Sai
years.
gets fired. She doesn't even really work here. Man, you got fired the day before you got hired.
And
Shane is just on a constant
you're
fire.
Just
absolutely
doesn't want
right.
to hurt my feelings.
Aaron got fired during APSE class.
What feelings?
Who needs feelings?
Butter?
And you fire out of love, just as we like to see you suffer out of
So
love.
does that mean you don't love me and Aaron?
No,
Yes.
I do love you.
That's so rude.
No.
Oh, well, let's end on that positive note to wrap it up before we devolve any
Hurry,
further.
Shelby.
Done.
Hey,
Thank you
can-
to
can I-
everyone.
Can I add a
July 10th,
couple of
Neil
things real
Fallon.
fast?
Neil Fallon will be July 10th, ILF Fest.
All right.
Okay, Shane,
We need-
yes, you can speak.
Thank you. We need everybody here to start pushing ILF Fest for us so we can come out and watch Chris suffer, right?
No.
I mean, so we can raise money to help the kids. That's
Help
what we
save
need to
children.
do. Right, exactly.
It's
All right.
only for that, yeah.
So we got to get this fired up, get this rolling, get it all pushing, get it out there. Sandwich is suffering, ILFest 2021, get her rolling. So that's what we got to do.
Mandy, am I supposed to be like the
Yes,
teacher
thank
here?
you.
You're raising
You are,
hands.
yes.
I have
Teacher.
a
Mandy.
question. Is Neil Fallon going to be at ILFest?
No.
Let me
That's a
just
really
check.
good
Hang on.
question. I don't
Yes.
have that information.
No, I have it.
Thank you.
I have it. I have a text from him right here. He will be there July 10th.
Gosh,
Yeah.
you let us
Just casually throwing out there that you text Neil Fallon.
Yeah, he has your number.
I see
I
you.
wasn't casually
Okay.
I wasn't casually throwing that out there. I was throwing that out there hardcore.
No
Okay.
big deal.
No big deal. But you know,
Don't
the
let
other
him keep
day
going.
when
Don't let him keep going because he'll be like, look, and then show his phone number to everyone.
I would
So,
not
Yeah.
do that. I am a security
Yeah.
person.
How many people have you doxxed?
Many.
This is a good time to stop.
It's my day job.
Anyway.
Okay,
wait,
well,
Really,
question.
Neil Sedaka.
Is AJ Cook going to be at ILFest?
AJ Cook will also be
Wait,
there
actually,
at ILF Fest.
real question: is Michelle gonna be there?
Well, so we don't know. Michelle has a lot of work and stuff going on right now, so we haven't been able to confirm her part in ILF Fest. But we're still hopeful. But we'll have to see.
There were a
Love her
lot of
either
people
way.
that loved her part last year.
Yeah.
She did phenomenal.
Yeah.
But we got we definitely have AJ, we definitely have Neil, and we got a bunch of like weird fitness challenges happening. People doing like 5Ks, people doing other. I think isn't there a planking challenge or something happening? Or
My
is that
knees
just
are broken.
I don't know what time is. I don't know what.
Planking
what's
made
fitness?
me cry.
Oh, I can talk about fitness.
Robin
You wanna
with
talk about
Spy
fitness?
Stories. You do not want to miss that.
Yeah, is
And-
Robin Dreek going
and
to be
some of
there?
the stories. Robin
Mhm.
Dreek will not only be there, but you should hear some of the stories he was telling us that he's going to share.
Will Dave
Some of
Kennedy be
them
there?
he had to go get permission from the FBI just to make sure he can tell them at
Oh, they're
ILF
going to
Fest.
be good.
That's awesome. So these are
Yeah.
stories that not like no one's heard before. They're
Yeah,
new.
he's got stories that he had to get permission to tell publicly.
Oh, this is good.
Awesome.
Wow.
This is good. Is
Yeah.
Dave Kennedy going to be there as well?
Actually, I don't know. Is Dave going to be there?
Yeah,
Did
Dave
he
Kennedy's going to be there.
Okay, I
He's
didn't know if he
confirmed.
confirmed. I didn't know.
I'm literally going down the list of special guests and asking if they're going to
Oh,
be
I understand now. Thanks, Mandy.
here. That was the last one. Besides, is Heath going to be there?
Heath, yeah, Heath will be there. Yeah.
Okay. Oh wait, is Chris Hadnagy going to be there?
No.
Okay.
No, I heard he's going to be sick that day
Yeah.
with some kind of
He got
stomach
food
virus.
poisoning from a
Caused-
pineapple pizza.
caused by Pop Rocks.
Yeah. But
Are you going to
he-
cook again, Chris? What are you doing? Do we know yet?
I don't know. I can, yeah. If you want me to, that'd be great.
Hey guys, do we want Chris to cook? You guys need to tell us
Is
out
it a
there.
pineapple pizza?
Can we do it something that doesn't have peanuts in it so I don't die?
We can. We can do Italian food if you want.
Pineapple
Everybody's
pizza?
saying yes. Billy
Yep.
says
Got
yes.
Send me
Yes.
food.
Pineapple
Send
pizza it
food.
is.
I don't
No.
care.
Oh.
Send
Stacia
food.
says yes.
I was
Do
confused.
it. Send
Hey.
food.
Okay,
I
awesome.
love all of
Maybe,
you except
Send-
ILF bots.
Send food and help.
And then is Neil Fallon gonna be there? Okay.
Let me just check again my
I
text
hate
message
you.
from him. Yes,
Again,
he will be there.
actually
I'm
answered-
firing myself.
All right, I'm set.
Yeah.
I feel good.
All right. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sensing a pattern. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry,
Dad?
we got one more thing. We
Dad.
want to. Dad.
Dad, I like that. That was good.
Oh, that was good.
It was right there.
Info Step right now is going on. It is a 6-month challenge. Yep.
Does it count if I wiggle my chair?
Yes.
No, you got to do actual
It's
steps.
like ab workout.
So
Is that the
these
one
guys,
in the UK?
it is.
What is that one?
It is. It's
It's
going on
across the
right
world.
now.
Do I have to be
They-
in the UK?
They've
No.
got a closed team. We've got 2 people on ILF
Oh, darn.
that are there now on their team. If we want to participate, we have to start our own team. So if we want to do that, Chris, you're already walking about 14,000 steps a day. So that's going to be easy for you.
I will.
So-
I will leave them and
My
abandon.
knees are broken.
Oh, you can't abandon
mean-
them. They're raising money for us.
Look
But
at
if
this.
it's for ILF, I will abandon anyone.
Look at this. My last 4 weeks, 320 some thousand steps, 114 miles.
Wow.
So let's all do an ILF team, and we'll let
141
Chris
miles.
carry us.
If I
I get
do-
notifications
wait.
telling me that I should probably stand up.
I have a question.
Go, Sai,
Are you
go.
alive?
If so, right now I'm doing about 14 to 17,000 steps a day. If I do double that, can I be on both teams?
Yes, you can, of course.
All right, I'm gonna put a desk on my treadmill. Let's go.
Just send me an elliptical and or treadmill. Don't do a
I
treadmill.
wanna
My
do
knees
it.
are
Let's-
broken.
Let's do this. This is really good.
Take them out.
It's good for wellness.
Can I
It's a good.
just pluck my
It's a
knees
good.
out?
It's a good coping skill. It's good all around. We need to do this.
Spaniard 702, we are figuring out how we start our own team. Absolutely. We
I
just
think it just
got to
got
get that
posted
done.
yesterday. So I'll send you guys that information.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Okay,
Thank
awesome.
you.
How are we gonna inform people? Will that be via Twitter?
Probably
Yes,
via
that's
Twitter.
Usually
I
where
think
it
Twitter.
is. It's also
So-
on LinkedIn.
Keep an eye out on Twitter if you guys want to do that. Chris, what treadmill are you using?
Oh, this is a beautiful treadmill Dave Kennedy referred to me. It's called Treadly. So it is only 3 inches thick, and it only weighs like 65 pounds or so, and it has wheels. So like I put it under my standing desk, but when I need to sit down or have a meeting or whatever, I could just slide it under and then pull it back when I need to walk. It has a handle here. It goes up to about 5 miles per hour, so it's not like super fast if you're a runner. But at 5 miles per hour, it's actually pretty decent for me. My average walking speed like 3.9. So, but yeah, it's really great. I love it. It's super light. It's awesome, and it just works.
Cool.
Treadly.
Sai, what is that?
Side
So
looks
I
like a
pulled this out
stepper.
because you mentioned having a desk thing. I got a treadmill because this wasn't enough, but this is a thing you can put on the floor. You can put it
I can
on the
wiggle
floor if
my
you're sitting. You can put it on the floor if you're standing. It is basically an elliptical with nothing but the steppy part. It will count your steps. It'll count calories. It'll do a time thing, and it's like $45 on Amazon.
I
Oh my
got-
God.
I
That's
just
a
got
great
something like
option.
that, and then I realized that I probably shouldn't have done that because I got stuck on an elliptical once. So we're gonna see how this goes. I might
Okay, there's a lot to unpack there.
Nah,
It's
there's
just-
really nothing.
Hey, Chris, I had a question for you.
Yeah.
Did Dave Kennedy text you that information?
Let me just check my text from Dave Kennedy. Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right,
No
I
one's
thought
impressed by
maybe.
that one.
Let me just check my text from AJ Cook. Yes, also.
No, okay. All right.
Let me just
Very
see who else.
important.
Yeah.
Oh, would you look at that?
Hey, Spaniard 702. It would be awesome if you can get half of your folks there to join the cause with our STEP team. That would be amazing. Then we would once again beat the British, as we have done so many times in the past. Oh wait.
Hey, Chris,
Oh,
Chris, time out. They're raising money for us
I
right
meant,
now as we speak.
I meant we never. That's not history.
I'm on their team, Chris.
You're practically
Okay.
British.
So, general audience,
call
this
me
is
out
why
like
we
that.
don't let Chris out very often.
I'm
Just
sorry,
so you
Tim.
know.
Sorry, Tim. I'm not sorry, but yeah, sorry, Tim.
All right, guys, so keep an eye out on Twitter for any announcements on that. And I think before we devolve anymore, we're going to go ahead and wrap for the night. So thanks for everyone for joining in. Just a reminder, too, when you donate to the ILF, like many of you have tonight, thank you very much. You are directly funding the mission to identify anonymous child predators and help us bring them to justice.
I got one more
Thank
thing.
you.
One more. Go
Are
ahead.
we really going to stop less than $1 away from 200?
What?
Can somebody
$1.
bail
Well,
us
then
out?
all
We
of a
Are
sudden-
you
cannot
trying to tempt
get
me into not
200.
having
I
money
mean,
again?
then we're like 300 from 500, so might as well just wait until.
May as
mean,
well just
really?
keep
It's a
it going.
marathon now. Let's keep
If we're
going.
using this logic, I can start listing off Liechtenstein facts until.
I have a
someone
question
donates.
for Shane.
Shoot, go.
Can I tell about the thing?
Yes, you
Okay.
can.
So, hello, internet. For
Hi.
ILFest, I have decided that I am going to auction off potential tattoos that are ILF themed that I will actually get live on a stream, not on ILFest day, but during ILFest at certain donation amounts, you guys will be able to pick the location of the tattoo out of a subset of 5 spots and one of 5 different tattoo designs. And the spots range from like my calf to the side of my skull. So get the money ready.
They didn't like my
And
idea.
And I have seen a couple of the proposed tattoos, and they are amazing, by the way.
That is so
It was
cool.
so good. I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
You
Not
know,
for-
every
Forehead. Please
Everybody's
say
gonna
forehead.
want
Face tats. And
Right
they
here.
were
everybody's
like,
gonna want the
no.
skull. The skull is gonna be like the
I
primary.
want
If
right
you guys
across.
want my skull to be tattooed live on a secondary stream,
Get your
you're gonna
neck
have to
blasted.
bring the money
Violet.
because that one's gonna be a high benchmark. There's a lot of I love that gift so much.
So I've got one more thing. We should all publicly apologize
You,
to
me,
Shelby
you, me.
for having such a challenging time with this particular group.
Mhm.
Sorry,
I
Shelby.
think somebody
Oh.
said herding cats. It really
Herding
is.
Hi,
cats, yeah.
Shelby.
Oh, we got
Amazing.
over. Who did it? Who made the
You
donation?
Uni did.
Uni.
Uni!
You rock, bro.
Aw,
Hey,
All right.
Shelby,
thank you guys.
I'm not sorry.
I'm also
Yeah, I
not
know.
sorry.
I know.
I can't.
I am
I-
Shelby. I
don't
feel
wanna
bad about it.
lie.
But
Yeah.
as an apology,
Yeah.
come on July 10th and be with Neil Fallon.
I
Yeah,
accept. Can I
that's
talk to AJ too?
Of course,
Yes.
she'll be there.
I'm
Hang on, let me
in.
just check my
Let's
text
go.
messages.
I've
and
worked here
see-
2 years and I've
Yeah.
never
My
met
text
AJ.
messages.
Let me just check my text message. Yeah, she'll be there also. Yeah.
Avoiding Chris Rock.
Some
All
data
right,
and
guys.
lore. Wow, Chris is actually here. Yeah, we let him out
Of course
on
I'm here.
occasion. On occasion.
Once in a while.
Where else
course
does he
I'm
have to
here.
go? He's just walking on a wheel.
That's it. I'm basically a gerbil right now.
Really.
Every now and then someone comes in and puts a water bottle here.
Mm-hmm.
I get food. I'm not even wearing pants. I'm not even wearing pants. I got that right
Okay.
now.
Damn it.
And
much
didn't need
information.
that
Remember
mental
when I
image
said I
pants
don't
on.
get paid
for
enough?
the
Great
pants
plan.
content.
Now,
Business
end it
on the
now.
This is
top,
one of
and I
those
am
times-
party on the bottom. That's all
All
I
right,
got.